Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram
Evam pravartitam chakram
nanuvartayati hayah
nanuvartayati hayah
aghayurindriya ramah
aghayurindriya ramah
mogham partha sajivati
mogham partha sajivati
yastvat maratireva syad
yastvat maratireva syad
atmatriptascha manavah
atmatriptascha manavah
atmanyeva cha santushtah
atmanyeva cha santushtah
tasya karyam na vidyate
tasya karyam na vidyate
naiva tasya krite narthah
naiva tasya krite narthah
na krite neha kaschana
na krite neha kaschana
na chasya sarva bhuteshu
na chasya sarva bhuteshu
kaschidardhavyapashrayah
kaschidardhavyapashrayah
tasmadasaktah satatam
tasmadasaktah satatam
Karyam karma samachara.
Karyam karma samachara.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Paramapnoti purushaha.
Paramapnoti purushaha.
Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim.
Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim.
Asthita janakadayah.
Astita janakadayaha.
Lokasangrahamevapi.
Lokasangrahamevapi.
Sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week we have just started verse 19. We have entered into it. I had asked you to read the verse and get a feel of that energy first. Whenever we get that opportunity, you can practice that. See, sometimes in the middle of a discourse, if a new verse is started, then you may not get that opportunity to do the sadhana. But when a new verse is being entered into at the end of a discourse, then that week you should definitely do it. Even otherwise, you can do it. But here, it is a wonderful opportunity for you to develop this energy sensitiveness. As a sadhak, you need to become energy sensitive. When you keep doing your Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, over a period of time, you will learn to feel the energy behind everything. What is positive, what is negative. It is not only with respect to these verses, with respect to everything in your life. Every object, every person, every situation, every aspect of life actually emits certain kind of energy. Now, you need to be energy sensitive to be able to first recognize that. And then after recognition, you need to have that intuitive clarity which the sadhana will build in you, based on which you will be able to see whether that energy is positive or negative. And then the further step is decoding that energy. Supposing, let's say, a person has some issue in life which has come to the external level. Now, there is an energy pattern which is functioning. So you need to recognize that, whether it's positive or negative. Since the problem is manifested, you will easily conclude and say it is negative. But as you become more energy sensitive, even before the problem manifests in your life, you will be able to see it at the energy level and release it during sadhana. That is a further advancement in the yogic path. And then decoding that energy. Supposing, let's say, you see on this person, there is some negative energy due to which he or she is facing this problem. I'm first explaining this as an example where you observe in others, but ultimately you need to apply it to yourself. So then what is that energy representing? What kind of thoughts and emotions have led to that energy? For you to look back, work backwards and decode that energy, that is a lot more advancement in the yogic path. Only a yogi will be able to decode. And the decoding can even go up to, it's not merely those thoughts and emotions. From where are those thoughts and emotions coming? What karma has been done? Which birth that karma was done? It could be either previous births or this birth also. Usually when we say karmas, people always associate it with past births. Not necessarily. You may have started a new karma in this birth also, no? So you can actually exactly pinpoint. It's like a computer, you know. You open up a folder and then within a folder is another folder, and you exactly trace the source of the particular file which you're opening. From where has it started? So in advanced yogic sadhana, you're able to perform this to yourself. It is not about looking at others and analyzing and telling them no. Actually, the rule which has been given to the yogis is that they should not tell people directly. Later on in this chapter, Krishna will be mentioning this to Arjuna. We'll be seeing that in the coming verses. He'll say a wise person should not unsettle the minds of ignorant by telling directly, see, you're having this is the cause, this is the karma. He shouldn't tell that because a person cannot take it directly. It's only when a student can take it, can handle it, the guru will reveal. Otherwise, it will be an indirect way of help in the background because you need a lot of objectivity, a lot of detachment to be able to go to the past and see what has happened and correct it. It can be done with clinical precision. It's like an operation only. I know nowadays they have the laser surgery, no? So they pass the laser light and the laser rays and they're able to perform a surgery. Externally, there is no wound, but internally, they're able to perform that surgery. It's the same thing only. A yogi can perform surgery with respect to the higher bodies, the pranic body, then the emotional body, the intellectual body, the karmic body. What is that laser? That is the Shakti, the supreme Sanjeevani Shakti, the life-giving force, which a yogi has access to through his own tapas, the various sadhanas. So the practice which I gave you may look very small. Just read the translation and try to feel the energy. But it is rooted in a very deep sadhana principle. That's why I keep saying, practice everything which is being said. It may apparently look too simple. Oh, why should I do this? It's so simple. It's not like that. See, to explain the deep principles behind everything will take time. So the best thing is for you to just simply practice whatever is being given to you. What are you losing? See, when it comes to negative things, you don't analyze. You just straight jump into it. When it comes to sadhana only, you ask so many questions. Why should we do this? Should we do like this or like that? So much of analysis you do. No issues. As long as that analysis is directed towards helping you to do the sadhana better, it's fine. So, as you do your sadhana on a daily basis, you will become more energy sensitive. When you enter a place, you can immediately, you will start feeling whether that energy is positive or negative. When you meet a person, you will be able to feel. Now, when that starts happening, I'm putting one caution here. You should not immediately conclude, because you have not become a master in that. So you just can't in a blanket way conclude, oh, this person is negative, you should not do that. Why? Because it can be a projection of your mind also, no? See, unless and until your mind becomes 100% neutral and tranquil, you can't say that your perception of things is 100% right. So our masters have given that safety a practice to install the safety trap also there. What is it? Don't conclude based on whatever energy you're sensing. If you're sensing some energy, either positive or negative, let it remain. Then allow the situation to unfold a bit and see what happens. See, for example, you're meeting a person and the person is very nice and all that, but you're sensing something negative. Is it a projection of your mind, or is there actually a negative energy there which you're sensing? Initially, you will not be sure. So, the best way is don't act on it. Don't pass any judgment. Don't conclude. Wait. If it is merely a projection of your mind, that will also be revealed after a while. There will be nothing there. If truly speaking, there is something negative there, or it could be positive also, and you have sensed it, that will also manifest. So, through the various experiences where you practice this, over a period of time, you will gain mastery over this. Incidentally, many people are asking me about healing and all that. No, this is one of the elementary steps of healing. In many healing courses, they teach you how to scan and how to feel the negative energy. All that is not required. See, as your inner faculties start getting awakened, the subtler faculties, the automatic scanning ability will come. First, you may scan with your physical body, palm and all that. You may feel some sensations. After a while, you will be able to scan with your third eye, that is the inner eye of wisdom. The depth of your scanning. I'm using the word scanning because that's commonly used by people for in when it comes to healing and all that. So understand it correctly. Scanning means sensing. We can put it that way. Because sometimes I get funny requests. People say, sir, can you please scan and say whether this fever is malaria or chikungunya? See, all that is, first of all, in our yogic tradition, we don't, differentiate like that at all. So don't get into absurdities. If we are talking of the sensing of energy. So one is to use your logic, which is also very important. But there are many things which is beyond logic. See, logic works best when you have all the data in hand. But at any point of time, the amount of data which you have is always limited only. It can never be full. For example, what is the data which you will have with respect to future? Zero. Data comes from the past, and that too, you cannot get the data from the pranic body, emotional body, everywhere. So, logic is a wonderful tool, but it's still limited to the data. Now, when these faculties are also developed in a person, along with logic, it helps a person to deeply understand a situation, understand a person, and resolve an issue from its source. So in the Prana Tattva level 1, I had taught you about the Prana Vayu Sharira. That is the first level of the subtler body. See, generally we can say it's all astral body. We can use such terms. But there are different layers of subtlety. So different meditation practices were given to you, which will help you to develop that energy sensitiveness. So when you keep practicing that, then we can move on to Prana Tattva level 2, which will be the higher and the subtler pranic body, the subtler astral body, which is made up of various energy centers called chakras and nadis and all. See, today all this information may be available in the internet, or you can even get it from books. But that is all of no use. Ultimately, are you able to experience all that? That is a question. So in our yogic method, we are not bothered about the information. Because I know many of you will now ask questions. Sir, you talked about chakras. Can you please tell which chakra, what, this, that? All that information can be given, but it really means nothing to you because you are not actually experiencing them. If you see something and if that is explained, that is your experience. When you are not seeing something and that is simply being explained to you, it is only a belief. So, in the empowerment programs, when the higher empowerments, further higher empowerments are given, that experience itself will be given to you through the empowerment, and then a lot of sadhana practices will be given to you, using which you can develop those faculties within you. That it's an infinite developmental process. So every practice which is being given to you has a deeper sadhana principle related to it. Today you may not understand it, but still practice it. You may not understand it means you may not understand it fully. One thing is clear, it's something related to your sadhana, it's a good practice. So why not do it? Babies have that clairvoyance. Their auras are very open. So they can see the energy patterns of individuals. That's why children, I would say up to the age of 5, those clairvoyant faculties are there. It's a gradual, diminishing pattern. Where in a newborn baby, it's very much there. Then as the child grows, it reduces, and after 5, it gets hidden completely. Thereafter, one has to do sadhana to bring it out. So many a times, I'm telling this to many of the parents. See, a baby can feel the energy of a mother. Mother is so important in a baby's life in the initial years. If the mother gets disturbed a little bit, the baby can also get disturbed. The energy pattern can get disturbed, and it can manifest as a disease. Disease means what? It may be cold, it may be fever, anything. So one is to give the external treatment, and also you can play the yoga sankirtan, all that is there. But you should also understand this principle. The baby is so connected to the mother and the father also. First the mother, then the father. So when the mother and father fight with each other, that affects the baby directly because it absorbs the energy. Some people, they try to be intelligent or over smart. They say, okay, let us not fight in front of our child, because Yogishri said can sense energy, so let us go inside the room, close the doors, fight, and then come out and smile. That and all will not work. The child, the baby can read the energy, can sense the energy. It's not about your external smile and all that. Please understand this. There have been several questions about the weaning period, when the mother stops the feeding for the baby. 2-3 sadhaks have asked how to help the child to cope up with that weaning period. Now, you have to understand this principle for that. That is, when the mother is feeding the baby, it's not mere physically feeding. That's how it is being understood today in the medical field, because their purview is just the physical body. But from the yogic perspective, feeding is not merely physical, external. It is an it is an emotional, that is, it is a bonding at the pranic, emotional, intellectual and soul level between the mother and the baby. So that is why our yogis say when a mother feeds the baby, she should feed the baby with a lot of love, kindness, positive energy. That will strengthen the child not only physically but psychologically also. So when the mother decides to stop the feeding, let's say after a year or a little more than that, you should not stop it off suddenly, because the baby has been receiving that energy. So suddenly if you stop, it can affect the baby psychologically. Please understand this. I'm giving I'm covering this because in the last few months, at least 3 mothers have sent the same question, slightly in different ways. So what you should do is, first of all, you should not stop it off suddenly. It's not good for the baby, and it's not good for the mother's health also. See, the so many hormonal changes are happening. The body is producing milk, and suddenly if you stop, that's not good. It has to be a gradual process. So what is suggested is, supposing, let's say, the mother is feeding, I'm just giving an arbitrary number, okay, 10 times in a day. Now you should first reduce it to 9 times. And that one time you should distract the baby here and there, play with it and give it some other something else which it can engage in, or some other food which can make it forget this. And then once that gets established, from 9 times you can move to 8 times. After a few days, 7 times, very, very gradually. So the mother's body will also get used to that, and the baby or the child also will get used to that process. And what is most important is, you should not stop feeding the baby in the night. You should practice this in the morning first, because it's easy to distract the child in the morning. But suddenly if you stop off night feeding, now there is no other distraction also. The child will go on crying, the child will become cranky. All this will have an impact later on. It should be a gradual process. So first reduce the feeding in the daytime gradually. And most important thing here is, I want to tell this to all the young mothers, you should do it so casually, as if there is nothing which is happening. If you become too anxious, oh, I have to stop, the baby has to stop, no, the child can now start feeling that energy and it will get disturbed, it will start resisting that process. If you do it in a detached way, with love, with affection, you understand what your child is going through. You've been with it for so long, so close, and suddenly you're stopping the process. It's not so easy. The mind can get so disturbed. So with a lot of love and patience, it's a process, it takes several months to gradually reduce it. If you do it this way, this is a yogic way of doing it, then the baby also will not get disturbed. The mother's system also will not get disturbed. It will be a very nice process. But what I'm finding is that most mothers today, they get very irritated. Oh, I'm losing my sleep. That will be there. You should learn, you should observe and learn to feed your baby even while lying down in the night. There, no doubt, the back, everything, a lot of things will be strained. So accordingly, how do you position yourself? All that you should work out. You should observe and work out. Similarly, even when you're feeding, what is the best position so that it doesn't create strain for you and the baby. So thus, if you reduce it slowly, so then it will come to just about twice in the night, then once. What is interesting is, even after the milk stops being produced by the body, the baby will want to just simply keep sucking, because it derives a psychological satisfaction. There the mother should not say, see, there is no milk now, don't do it. That's why I told you, you should understand that the relationship is not merely physical. It is psychological, at the pranic level, emotional level, it's so deep. So all this requires enormous patience, love, unconditional love. If as a mother you cannot give that love to your own baby, now how can you practice unconditional love with respect to others? So some people, they have funny concepts, they say, but it has to be stopped just like that. They have no idea of how it can affect the psyche of the baby, what can happen to the body, nothing. Simply they just throw this idea. Some others suggest, the certain kind of things are there, like neem, or some other things are there that can be applied, so that when the baby is fed with milk, it will feel the bitter taste and it will stop by itself. Please don't do that also. That will affect the child psychologically, because all along it has been receiving from the mother, and suddenly the taste is changing to something bitter. That is not good. So it's a gradual process. If it is done like this, the weaning process can be easily handled. The baby will become a little cranky. He or she will become angry. That anger or frustration which the baby feels will manifest in different ways. It may start crying for no reason at all. At that time, don't give logic to don't cry and all. Simply just hug the child and absorb that negative energy by giving positive energy. See, raising a child is such a beautiful process, provided you follow these yogic principles. The child will go through a lot of ups and downs. It is only with unconditional love that you can help the child. So, through this, I have also answered the questions which several mothers have raised. If you are not able to understand this fully, watch this portion several times so that you grasp the principle of what is being given. If as a mother, if you're going to get frustrated, irritated, and if you have no patience, and you think that suddenly you decide, I'm going to stop, now immediately I'll stop. One mother has written that since the child is crying too much, I'm asking my mother, that is the child's grandmother, to take it away to her house and bring it back by evening and all that. Please don't do that. The anger towards the mother will only increase. It will all go within. It will not manifest now. When the child grows, too many scars will be there. It is your baby. You need to handle it. It is your duty, not the grandmother's duty. The grandmother can help. So everything in life is a responsibility, and as a sadhak, you should take up the responsibility happily. That is what we are going to see in this verse. With happiness you should take it up. And see, not only this, after this some next challenge will come when you put the child to the school. Now that will be another challenge. Every phase of life will give its own challenges. Now you need to be objective, you need to be patient, calm, and handle these situations tactfully. Not lose your cool and get so affected by that. And husbands, that is the fathers of the baby, you can also help by being an emotional support to your wife during these times. You cannot be a substitute for a mother, but you can give that emotional support to the to the mother, that is to your wife, so that she gets that strength. That can be done from your side, and also to the baby, to whatever extent it is required. So start feeling the energy behind everything. If somebody is saying something, see, when you're also talking, your words have a certain kind of energy. It is coming from certain thoughts, emotions, and pranic energy. Many times we say, no, we are very rude to somebody, and then they say, I didn't mean it. That is wrong. If you are rude to someone, it means the energy of rudeness is there in your subconscious mind, and that is what is pushing you to talk that way. You have to learn to recognize first the energy behind everything. This is called energy sensitiveness. So when we are using the yogic approach to get deep into these verses, again we are using the same principle of energy sensitiveness. When Krishna is giving this verse, what is the energy which is being transmitted? A yogi is able to recognize that, and then he is able to decode it and apply it in the various, give the application principles. It is a very powerful sadhana principle. So, what is he saying in this verse? Last week we just entered. Now we'll see. Tasmat means therefore. He is coming to a conclusion. What is that conclusion? We'll see. Tasmat asaktah, unattached. Satatam karyam karma samachara. Always perform action that ought to be done. Karyam karma, that which ought to be done. Samachara means perform. Satatam, always. No relaxation for karma yoga, for sadhana. Your whole life has to be a sadhana. Sir, shall I practice just part-time? It will not work. That's why satatam, always. See, supposing we say you have to be good, you should not harm others. Or let us take a principle like don't rob a bank or don't steal from others. Should that be practiced satatam, always, or once in a while? It has to be always, no? Sir, I'm finding it very difficult. So shall I practice that principle part-time? You will only be in trouble. Oh, all the good principles in life have to be satatam only. So it is natural. It's not that he is forcing you and saying now you have to practice it always. Any good habit, if it is not inculcated in your life, satatam, always, it is a waste. Whatever energy you build will go away. So if you are sane, you will have to be sane always. You can't say, sir, throughout the day I'm sane, in between just 5 minutes, I lose my control and I stab or I hit whoever comes in front of me, I just hit them violently. 99.9% I am okay only. You can't say that. So satatam, therefore unattached, always perform action that ought to be done. I want you to feel the energy with which Krishna is giving us this message. And then he is giving the reason. Why should you practice this? For he asaktaha acharan karma. Performance of action, that is performing action asaktaha, without attachment, what does it give you? Paramapnoti purusha. It gives the person the highest. One obtains the highest. For performing action without attachment, one obtains the highest, parama. So when he says highest, what you should understand is everything below that is also included. See, when these yogis say realize God, now many people think we have to leave the world and realize God. No. God is nothing but the infinite. World is finite. The finite is always included in the infinite. So when the yogis say realize God, everything below it, success, achievement, wealth, good relationship, everything is included. The highest goal is straight away being given. That is the maximum which you should aim for, the infinite. Keep that in mind. When we come there, we will anyway go into more depth. But when you're reading these verses, your psychological understanding or the psychological framework is so important for you to deepen your understanding. Somewhere deep within you, if you feel that you have to leave everything, that is only detachment. Now, the way you understand this will be different. When he talks of the highest, it is all inclusive. God is all inclusive, not exclusive. It's not world versus God. It is world and the highest thing which you can reach in this world and beyond the world. It's when you have that framework, when you are reading a verse like this verse will fill you with so much of positive energy. It will fill you with enormous power to be able to act dynamically. If you read it with a negative framework, it will fill you with a lot of tamasic philosophy. Many people who read the scriptures, get into philosophy and all that, they stop becoming achievers. They just simply keep talking negatively about, they say, what is the use of life? Anyway, you have to die. This is there, that is there. That's how they keep talking. That's why when somebody talks negatively and all, it's become in common parlance, they say, when I philosophy pesran, means all the time he's talking philosophy. The word philosophy itself has been understood in a negative sense by people. Why? Because that's how it's been practiced today. So here is an opportunity for you. The real stuff is being given. The true original Vedic wisdom is being given, using which you can transform your entire life. So don't miss it. As Shakespeare says, grapple it to your soul. So therefore, unattached, always perform action that ought to be done. For by performing action without attachment, one obtains the highest. Means all your goals will be fulfilled. You will get everything which you want and you will get the highest also. What more do you require? You can get worldly success, worldly prosperity. You will also get spiritual success. There is nothing more than this. He is showing you the way. Now you have a choice whether you should follow it or not. So, tasmat means therefore. He is coming to a firm conclusion here. So, prior to this, he has been giving you various principles pertaining to yajna, the various facets, the parasparam. We saw so many things, no? In the previous verse also we saw several principles. Verse after verse, so many principles have been given. Now he is using the word tasmat because he is going to give a conclusion to all these principles now, and he is going to give you the application of these principles. He is going to tell you exactly what you should do. Without the principles, if you straight away get into this verse, your understanding will be very shallow. If you just stick only to principles and never get to this verse, then it will only be theory, nothing in practice. So here is a combination of the higher principles of life and then the practical application. It is only this combination which can transform your life. Merely knowing things is not enough. Merely practicing without any knowledge is also not enough. The combination will give you the perfect results. So everything which you practice should be based on sound principles. And every principle which you learn should ultimately translate into practice. If you only are philosophizing, that is, if you are just sticking to principles and no application at all, you will become a dry philosopher. People will run away from you. Sometimes people say, anything, he only keeps talking philosophy. It will become like that. Your whole life will be divorced from what you are talking. If you get into action, the application without proper principles, then you will lose your steam. After a while, you will only get stressed and you will not even know why you are getting stressed. So, in the yogic approach, we combine these two. Principles, when we talk of principles, any principle is like the foundation of a building. A foundation should be very strong. Actually, they spend a lot of time initially before constructing a building, a lot of time to ensure that the foundation is proper, no? And the application of that principle is like actually raising a building, raising a structure. Supposing you construct a building very high without the foundation, without a proper foundation, the whole thing can collapse. Or you have only done the foundation and stopped with that. No building thereafter. Then what is the use of that? That is also useless. So that is why our masters always say that you should learn the principles and you should apply them in your life. This combination is so beautifully depicted by this word here, tasmat, therefore. It's a very powerful word if you understand the energy behind it. It actually gives you this deep principle, how you should combine the higher wisdom with the practical application. Today, that is what is missing. People, in the name of spirituality, they just keep talking philosophy, or without any effort into, in terms of going deep and all that. People just simply get into some practices, mechanically practicing something, just doing one ritual mechanically. That is also no use. Before he says, perform karma, karyam karma, he has covered the principles first. Otherwise, this can be told right at the beginning. First, as soon as the Bhagavad Gita starts, do whatever you have to do. Over. Bhagavad Gita is over. Simple, no? It doesn't work that way. Your mind cannot have that energy to sustain the activity. See, when you do some activity, your mind should have the energy to sustain it, no? It's not 1 day, 2 days. Many a times, people without any deep understanding, they say, from January 1st, I'm going to stop smoking. I tell them it will never work, because just because the day has changed in the calendar, now your inner nature is going to change, is it? There is no deeper understanding why you want to quit smoking. What is the method which you're using? Nothing. Just it becomes January 1st. They have no New Year resolution. You put a lot of resolutions. I will do this, I will do that on January 1st. What it means is, all those will be broken on January 2nd. It will be short-lived, because there is no meaning in that. The day has changed. Therefore, now I am going to give up. What is the connection? Is it backed by a sound principle? So, in the yogic approach, we don't go for all this New Year resolutions. If you have to change, you can change right now. Why wait for New Year? So, I am waiting. January 1st, from January 1st, I will practice Yoga Sankita. You will never practice. I am waiting for the right time, sir. Sir, what is the right time to start the yogic sadhana? Some people ask. The fact that you are asking for the right time means you're not going to do. The mind keeps expressing in different ways, all this negative energy. So, tasmat, having covered the principles, now we are going to get into application. As a sadhak, you should become very alert and ready for application. See, if you understand the word tasmat, if you absorb that energy properly, it will generate a lot of dynamism within you, that it will trigger the energy of dynamism within you. Okay, we've studied a lot of principles. Now what am I going to do with them? Practical application. Being ready for that. That is the energy which it inculcates. So every part of sadhana has these two aspects: principles, application. Principles, application. It takes a while for a student to absorb this. See, many a times, when some people come for guidance, I tell them, okay, you do this, do that. They only do that, and but they don't go and understand the principle. Then when the next challenge comes, they don't know what to do. Again, the same mistake is made, but in a different way. It's like you give up your addiction to alcohol, but you pick up an addiction to some drug, let us say. There is no use, no? So when you give up the alcohol, you should give up the very tendency of getting addicted. It's not about just overcoming that. So every application should be principle based, and every principle should have an application. That's how you combine theory and practice. You can actually apply this principle and master any art or any skill. If you want to learn something, learn the fundamental principles and then keep applying to master the practical skills. Just because you know a few things doesn't mean you will be able to practically do it. I find people usually, slipping in one of these. Some people are very knowledgeable, but no practicality. Some people are very practical, but the depth is missing. As a sadhak, we are now learning to combine both depth and action. That is karma yoga. Merely acting is not karma yoga. Depth in action is karma yoga. If you just act in a shallow way, you're only doing karma. You're not doing karma yoga. See, this principle, there is this point about principle and application. Even in our Yoga Sankirtan sadhana materials, it is embedded. For example, if you take Om Saravana Bhava Dhyanam on Lord Muruga, the energy of dynamism. Now, in that part, after the the dhyana part, what are the initial words? Om Muruga Potri means I'm worshipping Muruga. Om Muruga Potri. Muruga means the one who is beautiful, handsome. Om Kumara Potri. Kumara means youthfulness, one who is youthful. So first we look at the form and say Om Muruga Potri means all praises to Muruga who is so beautiful, so handsome. Here is a form. We start with that. And then Om Kumara Potri. Kumara means one who is always youthful. How can someone be always youthful? The physical body has to age. No? Then it is not, when we say Muruga is beautiful, we are not talking of merely the physical beauty, but that youthful energy behind that form. Om Muruga Potri, Om Kumara Potri, further penetration. And then Om Iraiva Potri. What is youthful within you? When you start with your body, then go to the prana, then go deeper, 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 that God or divinity, that infinite, that is what is changeless, eternally youthful, eternal. So Om Muruga Potri, Om Kumara Potri, you've gone deeper. Om Iraiva Potri, oh you are God, oh Muruga. It's not merely the physical form, but you are that supreme infinite. And then see further penetration. Om Irai Porule Potri. Irai Porul means, when we say Muruga is God, now it is not merely the individuality which is God. You are representing the Irai Porul. Irai Porul means the God principle, the infinite principle. So Om Muruga Potri, Kumara Potri, Om Iraiva Potri, Om Irai Porule Potri. I am bowing down to that God principle. Om Piravi Payane Potri Potri. Piravi Payan means, see, having got this human birth, what is the purpose? What is the utility of that? When I move from the finite form to the infinite and realize that I have fulfilled this purpose. So, Om Piravi Payane Potri. You're providing that fulfillment in my life. Saravana Bhava Om, Saravana Bhava Om. So there, when that Saravana, the conclusion Saravana Bhava Om is chanted, it is a summary of this entire thing. So from look at how from the first the principle is being established, moving from the form to that formless, and then Piravipayan means that is the very sadhana, the practice. The same thing only, principle, application, so beautifully combined. See, every part of the yoga, even I'm telling you, even from the lyrics point of view, there is a beautiful structure in every part. As we get, as we go along in the future, I'll start revealing all these secrets. See, till now you have been hearing that. No doubt your focus should be on receiving the vibrations and all that. But when you understand the meaning, it adds more value. So when you say, oh, Muruga, Potri, Kumar, don't think it's just mere names of the individual Lord Muruga whom we are chanting. No. It is a very deep sadhana. As I told you, Muruga represents the infinite, a direct manifestation of the infinite. From the formless, the form has come, has manifested. So same thing, whether it's Mahashiva Dhyana or now we are going to do the Shakti series, no? The Yoga Sankirtan. I've already started on the main work. A lot of energy is there, so we'll have to make it, we have to tone it down and put the maximum, minimum limits. Otherwise, you'll not be able to handle it. So always, even Yoga Sankirtan, principle, application. See, now next time when you do that, it will give you so much of inspiration. Om Muruga Potri, Om Kumara Potri, Om Ireva Potri, Om Ire Porule Potri, Om Piravipayane Potri Potri, Om Piravipayane Potri Potri, Saravana Bhava Om, Saravana Bhava Om, Saravana Bhava Om, Saravana Bhava Om. See, with this depth, when you do the sadhana, how meditative it takes you. You can feel the energy, no? This is what is true sadhana. Combining the deep principles, the foundation, and the application. As a sadhak, you should master this. In every Sunday, the principles are being given to you and the practical tips are also being given to you. Now, you need to work out your balance and absorb the principles through manana, reflection, and then you should go about practically applying them in your life. Not just mechanically attend the Sunday sessions and simply tell others, oh, I'm a student of Bhagavad Gita. Now I'm attending every Sunday yogic approach. It's not merely that. What are you doing with that? So, tasmat, therefore, very powerful. It makes you ready. The sadhak now has become so dynamic, ready for action. ready for practice. See, when a guru gives advice, when a guru gives messages, and when the student is so dynamic, picks it up and ready for practicing it and immediately practices that, the guru gets more inspired. He gets so inspired to give more and more. Supposing the guru is giving a lot of enthusiasm and the student listens to all that, no energy of dynamism, goes back and continues with the same life which he or she is leading. Now, whatever inspiration which the guru has to teach also will go away. That's why it is so beautifully in the Dhyana slokas it is said, the student is like a calf. He compares Arjuna with a calf, The milk will come from the cow so generously when the calf is there. Similarly, the wisdom will flow from the guru in an unlimited way when the right student is there. And who is a right student? A right student is one who absorbs the principles through manana, reflection. See, first Shravana, listening, then churning it within and reflecting and absorbing all the principles, and then has the energy of dynamism to apply it in his life and makes his life better. See, just now Guru Purnima, we had the Guru Purnima sadhana. Now, lot of gratitude, all that is fine. But the basic gratitude which you can show to your Guru is by applying this wisdom and making your life better. All the time if you're saying, sir, this problem is there, I don't know what to do. I'm not saying you should not take guidance. No, take guidance. That is a positive thing only. But if your attitude is that of complaining, you're not applying anything in life, then that is that the Guru Dakshina which you want to offer? No. When we offer Guru Dakshina to the Guru, it should be a positive energy. So when such a Guru who's selfless and when a perfect student, when they both meet, there is an explosion of energy. If you go to the Upanishads, it's amazing how those students, they are themselves are very advanced yogis, when they go to a master. And that master is at the highest level. That transaction, it gives an amazing flow of energy. Actually, you have no idea, Guru can go to any extent for the sake of the upliftment of the student. It is the student who keeps putting various blocks. One such block is, if you get caught up with mere theory also, it's a block. If you get caught up with mere practice also, it is a block. Mere practice will make you restless. You will not have that patience to listen to the deeper advice. Mere theory will just make you more tamasic with this knowledge. You will only be talking philosophy, but you will not act. So as a sadhak, focus on these two blocks. These are deadly blocks which every sadhak has. Either you will get caught up with the principles, lose sight of practical application, or you will get caught up with the practice and you will lose sight of the principles. A guru will guide, will give you that energy, but you will have to use it to remove your blocks. So every action should be based on these higher principles. I first want you to visualize that, conceive that, and learn to appreciate that. Then automatically you will start living it. So Even though this word looks so common and simple, tasmat, therefore, it's so deep. Take it up as a homework. Just reflect on the energy behind this tasmat, how the principles and application have to be balanced. When you start going deep into that, the energy of dynamism, readiness will be triggered from within. Om Saravana Bhava Dhyana is about dynamism only. Lord Muruga is the embodiment of dynamism. Can you just imagine Lord Muruga, just simply sitting and, in a tamasic way? It cannot be conceived also. Lord Muruga means standing with that valor, giving that dynamism all the time. It's a very important aspect which you need to develop if you want your sadhana to fructify. Okay, so we'll stop with that here. Do the homework, reflect on whatever has been given to you. Find out in your life whether you're following these principles properly. In whatever you're doing, is it backed by sound principles? Whatever you know, are you putting it into practice? In every area of your life, you can observe. It will add so much of quality to your life. Okay, so before we do the Nididhyasana, I will take up one small question. So, dear Yogishri, I wanted to share my experience trying to follow the sadhana practice you suggested this week, the toy one, and ask a few questions about the same. Toy one means you're referring to that previous, in that verse I had mentioned about how a child plays with toys, you become an adult, now you've outgrown those toys. So the sadhana which I had given is, when you're facing a problem now, understand these toys are creating so much of problems for you, like how for a child, a loss of a toy creates so much of sorrow and all that. But when you grow up, you will outgrow this. That gives you a maturity. That was the sadhana which was suggested. So your question is, I am confused about whether to apply the above sadhana in all situations or to choose the moment more smartly. For example, in moments of extreme emotion, I feel like crying in a safe space or venting out the frustration during sadhana. More on this below. I found it extremely hard to apply the above sadhana in such moments. On the other hand, there are moments during the day when I find it easier to get back my awareness and apply the sadhana. Example, during some heated discussions. Assuming it is safe to vent out the emotion, it seems to me that it's better to release it to a good degree and then try to get detached, because it will be easier to detach after the release. Kindly suggest if I am approaching the sadhana in the right way, or should I just acknowledge that perhaps certain emotions are too strong for my current capability and bide my time till I get stronger. So this is the question. It's a nice question. So see, when that sadhana was suggested about toy and viewing your present experience, when you grow up this will go, that you can't practice it beyond your level. It's like asking a child to think like an adult. Is it possible beyond a point? No. So it was suggested as another tool. See, sometimes when you're too caught up with an issue, you're unable to think beyond it. It's like pressing you down so much. Instead of losing your confidence, if you bring in this practice, okay, today I'm feeling this problem is so deadly, completely weighing me down. But this is how I felt when I was a child. Some issue regarding toys and this, that, I would have felt so down. Now, is that affecting me? I've outgrown it. Similarly, when I outgrow all these things, probably I may even laugh at this problem which is so seriously affecting me today. So I asked you to practice that sadhana, that bring this thought, so that it will give you that confidence to face whatever is going on with more detachment and cheer. That's all it was. So now don't, how you have taken it is, as if no, I've asked you to become a sthita prajna then and there. How is that possible? It's not possible. So your method is right. See, when the emotion is very strong, when something is bothering you, the first thing you need to do is release it through sadhana. You have used the word vent out those emotions. Venting out is not releasing. Venting out means temporarily you just express it. No, we are not talking of that. Do the deep breathing while doing the daily sadhana. Surrender to the Guru Shakti and breathe through those emotions to release them from the root. That depends on the depth of the negative emotion which you are trying to release. So that is the main thing. This is an additional tool which will give you confidence, which will give you patience. Sometimes, when some problem is going on, you may lose your patience. When will this become okay? Some people ask me, they would have faced the issue for so many months, so many years. They'll say, Yogishri, please give me healing. I'll say, okay, I'll give you healing. Very next day itself, still I'm having the problem, Yogishri. When it will go? I say, cool. You have to be a little more patient. See, you create something and then you just want some miracle, immediately it should go away. So in order to build patience, in order to build that confidence, today this problem is so big, but when I outgrow it, it will not be. When you bring in that thought, it brings a lot of maturity. So you do it to the extent you can. To the extent you are unable to do it, leave it, no issue. You should not put pressure on yourself to now practice it fully and all that. So see, I am giving you various techniques, various sadhana tips. If one thing is difficult in a particular situation, apply another tip. That will work. That's why so many tips are being given. Okay, I'm so happy. I think Deepak who has asked this question from US. So it means you're taking these things very seriously and you're practicing. So it's wonderful. Definitely, when you're trying to practice all this, the healing energy is being sent to you, and with the higher help, over time you will get the balance. Okay, so now we'll do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions and thoughts, lies my real self. My higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to learn the higher principles of life and practice them in every situation. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So it was a wonderful session we had today. That energy of dynamism is so important to be triggered in order to make your sadhana fruitful. Ultimately, it's not about claiming yourself to be a sadhak or claiming that I'm doing sadhana which matters. What difference is it creating in your life? The tips which were given today will help you on those lines. Okay. And one announcement is, many people kept on asking me about Sambandha Divya Vignan, the divine science of relationships. Now it has been made available online. It took a while to energize it for the empowerment. And every time you do it, anyway, I'll be checking the energy levels, because they always inform me as to who has registered and all that. So the backing of in the background, you will be receiving the healing. Remember that. Even though it has been put on auto mode. So don't think it's a recorded version you're listening in. No, it's a live program only, as far as you're concerned. So it is available to you. You can make use of that. The only thing is, when you're doing it, don't think you are repeating the sadhana, the empowerment. No. Consider that it is a fresh empowerment. Because it is a fresh empowerment. And every time you do this, the empowerment course, it is the next level of empowerment which you're getting. That is why it has been kept online, not for repetition. So many sadhaks who keep doing these empowerment online programs throughout the year, they experience that. Same Kaya Tattva, you do it this year, it will have one effect. Next year, you will find the experience to be different. Because as your consciousness is growing, the energy will dynamically help you accordingly. Okay, so the aim is to make use of all this, make your relationships wonderful, make them divine, and keep growing spiritually. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.